Hello, divine creators. Welcome to Demella Universe. We are Kemet. Thank you so much for joining us. It's time for a tarot reading. Let us see what is available for us at this time. We trust you are well, beautiful beings. Thank you so much for all of you who have been booking sessions with us. It's been lovely to connect with you, and we are truly grateful for your support. And thank you for those donating. We appreciate it. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the shares. Just thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for being. We truly love co-creating with you, and we love that you're here with us. So thank you. At the center of the read, we have the Death, Scorpio Energy Rebirth. And within we have, the Five of Cups. Without we have the Tower. And we received the Tower card in this morning's TikTok quick read. So we love seeing the energies follow through. At the bases we have the Knight of Cups. The base below, and crowning we have the King of Pentacles, and below the deck we have the Ace of Swords. Okay. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords as the overall energy and the Death card at the center. So we are going through a rebirth, a renewal, and we are receiving that we are now at a stage, you're now at a stage where you are receiving understanding about this rebirth, okay? Clarity. You are now ready to integrate. Okay, thank you, Source. So there's always this in-between stage. Okay, thank you, Source. Source would like us to share something that we have learned in our own experiencing in order for you to understand how it's applying to the energies at this time. Frequency enjoys freedom. In order for the frequency and the energy to manifest fully in your reality, and because you are all now accessing information from the unknown frequencies do not like being defined. It limits it. It stops them from being able to express their fullness, because then you as the creator and you as the definer, they have to filter through in order to align to your understanding of things. Okay. So, for example, trees. When you are learning about trees, you learn specific things. They have roots, stems, branches, leaves, fruits, flowers, and fruit. And you learn about their biological principles, and you learn about their oxygen and carbon dioxide, photosynthesis. So you learn about the general mechanics from a scientific point. And then that's it, right? And then if you believe that's all a tree is, then that's all a tree is. Should you release trees to be more than what you have learned, then you might access vibrational frequencies, and then you might be able to communicate with the tree and receive information through channeling with nature, through trees, which many of you have experienced, where you feel called to a tree and you hold a tree and you literally feel vibrational exchange, because now you have released the conditioning of the tree being what the world has defined it, and you have allowed the unknown of the tree, you've allowed the communication, the vibrational frequency of the tree to be a reality which you can now access, which some people might not be able to, but you can, right? The more you have been allowing yourself to be source, and the more you have been allowing yourself to experience this reality as source, the more you have been able to engage with reality in a deeper sense, in a more energetic, spiritual sense. And this is what the unknown frequencies love. They love having that freedom, because now you are able now to access your energies at maximal. It's basically saying, if you don't define me, then I can be everything and I can show you all that I am. And because you're within sources in love, you can trust that all of that I am will be love. So you don't have to worry about, oh, and I have to set parameters and I have to do this. You don't have to worry about what's coming through, because what's coming through is love and will be love, can only be love, for that's where you are focused. So as you were going through the rebirth, you were receiving information, you were receiving understanding and downloads, and you were also receiving shifts in your life which you didn't understand. And so also saying it was important that everything happened without your understanding in order for you to integrate it vibrationally first, for the information to be fully vibrationally incorporated first. Now that that has been crystallized, you can now receive the understanding. You can now receive the logical understanding, as it were, because now the understanding born of your mind is now accessing the information from what you have already received from the unknown. Another way of putting this. Sometimes when we do a reading, we will come through and we'll channel light language to you, right? You receive the vibrational light language and we don't explain it and say it's these two cards. Then in your week, you will literally experience it and you will understand, oh, wait a minute, so that's what the Ace of Swords meant. And now you are receiving the logical understanding, but it's now being received from you already downloading the energy, as opposed to you knowing it and then restricting the download with your knowledge. So all of you now are at a space where you are finally coming into an understanding of, oh, that's why that had to go. Okay, now I understand why that happened that way. Okay, I understand now how this ability works. So now you are coming into into clarity about that rebirthing, about that change, that stage of confusion. You are now coming into the understanding because you have received the light codes. You have received it. You've received the download, the vibrational input. And now you can receive the logic, because you're not going to, because you've already received all the information, you are not going to block it, interfere with it, or dilute it. You can't. It's already crystallized within you. So now you are able to receive the understanding. And that's what's happening here. Forgive us, that was long-winded. We probably could have said that in a much briefer way. But we trust you understand this. So there's understanding coming, understanding about your rebirth, knowledge, perception shifts, clarity. Finally, you are understanding why things are happening the way they're doing, the way they're happening. And because of this, you are able to now let go more profoundly. You are able to release easier. You are able to now fully disengage, because the clarity allows a healing and allows a freeing. And in your releasing, in your letting go, it is aligning with quite a profound foundation shift in the physical for you. This is a very interesting reading, because we're receiving a lot of information because all of you are receiving this in very unique ways. It's we've got to say it's quite a tricky read for us at this time because all of you are receiving this in each of you are weaving this energy in a very specific, unique way to you. So trying to generalize it is where we are feeling the difficulty. Within is a release. Some of you, it's a release of self. Others, it's a release of attachments. Others, it's a release of emotion as alignment. Others, it's a release of career, family. Others, it's a relief or a release. You're all releasing very different things which have been very dear to you, attachments to you, addictions to you, ways of being to you, and it changes who you are. It changes who you are. These are fundamental, this is fundamental coding within you that you're releasing. It's fundamental behavioral patterns, fundamental personality traits. Okay. Almost what you are known for, you know, if there's a particular personality trait or a particular behavior or a signature way of being, and it doesn't mean you are putting on a character. This isn't about you putting on a facade. This is true to your nature. There is a way in your nature you used to be. It's being rewired because your nature is being, thank you, Source. Thank you, Clarity. Your nature, your DNA, your nature is being changed. Wow. So Source is saying, imagine you were a bamboo tree all your life, and all of a sudden you're becoming an oak tree. So, and the thing is, where you were in your programming, where your programming had you. Wow, okay, this is going to be a lengthy read. We hope that you are, not lengthy, just, you know us. So, okay, wow. You're coming to Earth to assist humanity awaken. In order to do this, you had to release all that you are, which you did. And then you chose a family or a starting point where you would receive ingredients not of you in order to heal them. So then you aligned with whatever beginning it was, whether it was a family, whether you were adopted, whether you didn't have, whether you were homeless, however the experience began, that was where you would receive the starting frequencies for your healing, for your evolution, for your healing, for your transmuting. Okay. So you started wherever it is in the illusion, and the energies you received at that space, the information, and where you anchored in, because when you received that information, you also anchored it into Earth. So where you anchored it in, it formed a bamboo. You were a bamboo. So you came to Earth, and the family you adopted, so the biological family you were born through, were of bamboo, and because they were of bamboo, you then connected to Earth as bamboo, and you became a bamboo tree, and you healed yourself, and you learned, and you explored, and you became a bamboo, and it felt quite right. until you realize, but I don't really fit in as a bamboo. There's something more. There's something that's not really aligned. And as you started awakening, you started releasing the conditioning, releasing the rules and regulations, and you became a free bamboo because that was still what you had become. So you became an awakened bamboo, where you are no longer a bamboo of the conditioning with the rules and regulations of the family and the society of what you need to be in order for you to be this bamboo. You became a free bamboo, an awakened bamboo, expressing yourself as the bamboo you've always wanted to be. The thing is, you were never a bamboo to begin with. The only reason why you were a bamboo was because you began your journey there. And now through the rebirth, you are reclaiming your origin coding. And your origin coding, if you were to come to Earth as yourself, you would have actually been an oak tree. And that is what Source is getting at. The baseline frequency, the very nature of you is changing. And so there are certain attachments that you formed while you were a bamboo. And you released all of the illusion bamboo, so you became a bamboo of freedom, of love, and you were under the impression, well, this is it then, Source. I've finally released the conditioning. I'm now a bamboo born of Source. I am now, if Source was a bamboo, this is how I would be. And Source is saying I wouldn't have been a bamboo in the first place. So we need you to release being a bamboo completely, because you are actually an oak tree. That was literally the best way we could metaphorically explain this. Okay. The very basis of you is changing because you are not human. And if you were to come into Earth as your frequency, you would not be human at all. Yet you are in this form, but the basis of you, that human nature basis of you, is being released. So you might be one in form right now, and something tells me in a few, I don't know if in this lifetime, but something tells us that at some point this physical form evolves completely and we actually become what we truly are. But that's for another another dimension. We feel that's when the physical form can morph in another dimensional field, but we'll tap into that should it be inspired at a later stage. Right now, for you to understand this, it's important for you to understand that yes, you're in this human form, but you are not being human. You are being your core frequency now. And so there are some attachments to being human, and again, this isn't your addictions as such, and it isn't the the expected ways. It's just how just humans are generally, just general human behavior, general everyday beings and going-ons of human stuff. It's being rewired to your source frequency, which is why you might be feeling a bit odd and also a bit removed from people around and the general buzz. It feels like you're really out of place at times, and Source is saying you will come into the understanding of it. You're just really tapping into more your frequency more than ever before. And the way you go about things, you know, for example, we have been guided that for us to align and anchor in and to manifest abundance in this physical realm, we are to do mirror manifestations. Humans are not taught to look in the mirror and manifest. They're taught to go and find a job and do A, B, and C, and then, and just because we are doing mirror manifestation doesn't mean it's for you. You might be asked to look in a candle. You might be asked to go and swim. You might be asked to look upon a star and anchor in. So you are learning how your unique frequency manifests in this physical realm, which is very different from how humans do it. How you generate money, how you look after your body and your health, how you go about just doing ordinary daily things is no longer how humans do it at a very core frequency. Because me telling someone, oh, so what do you do for money? Oh, I look in a mirror for an hour and I connect to another portal, another dimension, where I connect to other frequencies and I assist them. And then in order for that energy exchange, they then create ways in this realm in which I can then align to financial assistance, because I cannot plug into any frequency other than source frequency to create in this realm. So I cannot go and do a normal job, because if I do a normal job, I'm plugging into that energy grid and it distorts my energy. So I need to look in the mirror to plug into my frequency, and then those that can translate that energy into physical abundance in this realm, they then assist to manifest those channels of abundance for me, and then it manifests in unexpected ways along the way. I just have to be open to receive it. That is the general reaction I would get if I was going to go and speak to just a human who is not doing the ascension process, you see. And it doesn't mean that that's going to work for you all out there, because we are all anchoring very unique ways of doing this. This is just simply how we have been guided to access any manifestation, not just finance. So just use as an example, but any form of manifestation, we use the mirror portal to connect, for that is how we can do it. So your baseline programming of how to operate this physical reality is changing, and so you are releasing it, and it can be a bit challenging because it feels crazy and out there and not realistic, right? It's like, no, it's not realistic to look in a mirror and then just expect money to come through. And it's like, no, it's different. It's not just looking in the mirror and poof. Well, actually it is, but there's energy work which goes through, and when you are doing it, you understand it. But when others try to understand it through your explanation, it's like, that doesn't sound like real, right? And so that is the fundamental baseline energy remodeling that's happening at this time. And you are receiving the understanding of it, right? And Source is saying the way you are receiving it is intuitive. It just feels right, and it feels like love, and it feels good. When we are connected to the mirror, goodness, it feels like home. It's like we're on a telephone call. Looking in the mirror and channeling is like we're on a Zoom call to all of our collective, to everyone that makes sense. It's a connection to our world, and it feels like love. It feels like home, and then crowning, It's our truth. So it empowers us to our King of Pentacles, to our worthiness. And that's what's happening with all of you. As you are allowing yourself to honor your transformation process, so you are receiving understanding about your transformation process, and you are now receiving clarity on it, and you are honoring it. And as you are honoring it and receiving clarity on it, you're receiving inspired knowledge, inspired hows, inspired actions. And these actions and these knowings are assisting you to release the old ways in which you used to do things, indeed, the ways in which just general humans do things in this realm, and it changes your foundation, your basis of being, how you exist on earth, and it's how you exist on earth changes. It's the normal rules of how energy works changes, and it's very specific to you, you know. It's very specific to you because it's honoring your frequency. And as you honor this and you let go and you just allow these changes to happen, that rehabilitation process happens where now you are receiving. Because in 2021, it was a purge year of releasing everything that doesn't honor source. Fives are all about transformation. So right now, change is but to replenish, restoring, how to come back. Just as we described when we asked source, okay, source, so if we can't do the work we used to do, and yet we would like to attract more abundance, then what do we do? How do we then, if we can't just go and and do a modeling job like we used to do, if we can't just go and do any physiolocum work like we used to do, if we can't do that because we can't plug into that dimensional frequency, how on earth do we then, what do we do, you know? And then we just received, oh, just look in the mirror once a day. And so we're like, oh, okay. And looking in the mirror, foundation change, because that's like, that doesn't make sense, but you know, we have come this far, so we're just gonna go with it. And as we do that, rehabilitation, now we are receiving back that which is being released, is being replaced, is being rebuilt, is being rehabilitated, but in a way which honors our source frequency, in a very different way from what we have ever thought it would be. And it's received intuitively, it's received through offers and opportunities, and it's empowering. This is a transformation to rebuild you. This is a transformation, a tower card. This tower card and this rebirth is a rebuilding to your King of Pentacles energy, to your worth, to your value. That Taurus energy, the fundamental basis of your finances, your security, your stability, your relationships, right? So that very core frequency is now being rebuilt, is now being reestablished. You are learning your ABCs again, but from source. And these ABCs are very different from what you humans do in general, and what anybody else does in general. And the healing process right now is for you to let what you used to do and what humans do in general go. It's really to honor that, okay, I'm not meant to be what humans expect, and the way humans succeed is not for me. And yes, you might be an actor, you might be an actress, you might be an artist, and so there are certain steps in which you build in order to achieve certain outcomes, whether it's stage or screen, right? And sources saying, yeah, not for you. You Don't look at how other people are doing it. If you want to book that job, or if you want to call in more castings, we wish you to go into the ocean and connect to the water, and we wish you to fantasize about your best job, and we wish you just to stay there and then be open to receive it the next week. And you might be thinking, but my friends are networking. They're going out to that event where the producers and the screenwriters are, and they are networking. Should I No, don't go there. You go to the ocean, you sit there, you think of the part you want until it feels good, and then be open to receive it. And you're going to think, and you just have to let go and trust, because Source is saying we're bringing it in a way which is enjoyable, because trust, you going and networking with all those people in that situation who are not doing the work, complaining and drama and speaking of the ills and that mix of energy. But you going into the ocean, delicious. And you sitting there and listening to the waves and feeling the water upon your skin, even better. And you just being there and thinking of that role and already feeling yourself in that part, and boom, you receive it. Because the energy is now perfectly tuned to your frequency, and the producer or the writer, when they are thinking of that role, is aligned to that frequency and is a vibrational match, not of the frequency of people socializing there, networking, but a vibrational match of you there in the ocean sitting there. And because now they are in the vibrational match of you in the ocean sitting there, there'll be somebody on social media who will then look across your profile or something and be like, oh, what about this person? I really like their energy, and I actually saw them in this, and they're really, really good. And so all of a sudden they're contacting your agency directly because they want you. Not from the social buzz, but from the vibrational call, because the energy is literally weaving destiny together, because this is how it works in this realm. We know this has been quite I won't say technical, but quite a lot of information read, because again, each of you are having very unique ways of rebirth and rewiring the foundation of earth to source. And each of you are having very different releasings of human ordinary things to do, to achieve, to succeed, to manifest, to create, which don't feel, which you almost feel like, no, but that's not real. And so saying, but for you it is, and you need to have faith that for you it is, that for you it will work out. It won't make any sense for anybody else to do it. Yes, Kemet, you going and looking in that mirror and manifesting those situations for yourself, for your support, that won't make sense and won't work for anybody else but you, unless of course some of you have been inspired to the mirror. I don't know, maybe perhaps some of you are also mirror manifestors, right? We're not saying it's only limited to us, but we're simply saying the way in which we connect and the way in which we're instructed. We won't say to all of you now, go to the mirror and do this. No, we have no idea how you are meant to do it. All we can do is encourage you to allow yourself to find out by releasing how it's done generally and allowing yourself to receive how you uniquely do it. As you receive the clarity and information about your rebirth process. And yes, it is a disruption to your foundation, because it is no longer, hey, if you want a job, type up your CV and apply it and send it out to different people and get a job. It's, hey, if you want to call in something, look in the mirror for us. We don't know what it is for you. So, fundamental basis shifting in order to now replenish and restore what had to be cleared in the purge, so that now you are rebuilding again the foundation of you to bring you back. And look, if you look at the bottom of the card even further, Four of Wands, look, Page of Pentacles, new ways of doing it in your truth, in your clarity. So unique to you, so unique to you, very unique to you. New ways of manifesting things for your own stability and your grounding. And you just need to trust what you are receiving. For each of you are receiving very unique understandings, observations, ways of doing things which don't make sense to anybody else. Yes, go for it and trust. Blessed be.